Good day, so glad you've joined us for this week's video. Starting off with sharing just a couple of the many 2-second improvements you guys have come up with, we'll begin with this one in special parts. All of their glue bottles were stored on one end of the table, where the builders would need to walk over there and get one when needed. Glue is such a regularly used item that they wisely decided to create a home for the glue outside of the drawers and within reach of each builder. Excellent idea, saving a lot of motion. And in assembly, they reorganized their drawer box building area by removing items that were not adding value to the process, such as a large shelf, and then placed regularly used tools on the wall, standardizing their location to increase efficiency of the process. The door department added some standardization to the wide belt sander by placing a simple checklist reminder on the catching side to remind catchers that it is their responsibility to quality check parts coming off of the machine for specific defects. When training on this important detail gets neglected, oftentimes defects can make it farther downstream than they should. This poster of the set standard can be used as a training tool and daily reminder to avoid the wastes of motion, transportation, and waiting that come of the result of the waste of defects at this area. Keep up the great work, and a big shout out to Daniel for sharing his before and after vids. If you make a visual improvement, please remember to check out the email address depicted on every action item ticket and send your before picture or video so they can inspire others. And now for part 4 in our series on how to win friends and influence people. We've focused on the past couple weeks on the how to win friends part. Today we'll talk a bit on how to be a good influencer. In chapter 3, he discusses a key that if you can do, you will have the whole world with you. But if you cannot, you will most likely walk a lonely way. The best way to get someone to do something is to give them something they want. So the big question is, what is it that everyone wants? John Dewey, one of America's most profound philosophers, said that the deepest urge in human nature is the desire to be important. Of course, people also crave health, food, money, long life, physical pleasures, the well-being of their loved ones, and an assurance of life after death. All of these desires minus one can be gratified now through the instrumentality of other human beings. But one of the most difficult to satisfy, and a chief distinction between man and animal, is the desire to be important. Without this desire to be important, civilizations would stagnate. It is this desire to do something meaningful and be important that drives people to improve their current status. Like the uneducated, poverty-stricken grocery clerk who desired to study some law books he found in a scrap barrel. His name? Abraham Lincoln. It's the same desire that leads the millionaire to build a house much larger than needed and place it on top of the hill, or the want to wear the latest style, or be lured into a gang and criminal behavior. We've discussed how criticism discourages friendship and growth. It should come as no surprise that the skill of making someone feel important would encourage growth and influence people in a positive way. Some of the most powerful people in the world understood this principle and used it to gain their level of influence. People like Charles Schwab, who said, "I consider my ability to arouse enthusiasm among my people the greatest asset I possess, and the way to develop the best that is in a person is by appreciation and encouragement. I have yet to find the man, however exalted in his station, who did not do better work and put forth greater effort under a spirit of approval than under a spirit of criticism." But what do the average people do? The exact opposite. When they don't like something, they complain and blame. When they do like something, they say nothing. When a study was done on why most women or men leave a marriage, the conclusion that it was a lack of appreciation comes as no surprise. We put forth much effort to feed the body, but how often do we nourish self-esteem? The nourishment from a meal lasts a few hours, but kind words and appreciation sings in the memory for years to come. This story illustrates well the power of this principle.
Paul Harvey, in one of his radio broadcasts, told how showing sincere appreciation can change a person's life. He reported that years ago, a teacher in Detroit asked Stevie Morris to help her find a mouse that was lost in the classroom. You see, she appreciated the fact that nature had given Stevie something no one else in the room had. Nature had given Stevie a remarkable pair of ears to compensate for his blind eyes. But this was really the first time Stevie had been shown appreciation for those talented ears. Now, years later, he says that this act of appreciation was the beginning of a new life. You see, from that time on, he developed his gift of hearing and went on to become, under the stage name of Stevie Wonder, one of the great pop singers and songwriters of the 70s. Some of you are saying right now, as you hear these words, "Oh, phooey, flattery." I've tried that stuff. It doesn't work, not with intelligent people. Of course, flattery seldom works with discerning people. It is shallow, selfish, and insincere. It ought to fail, and it usually does. True, some people are so hungry, so thirsty for appreciation that they'll swallow anything, just as a starving man will eat grass and fish worms. In the long run, flattery will do you more harm than good. Flattery is counterfeit, and like counterfeit money, it will eventually get you into trouble if you pass it to someone else. The difference between appreciation and flattery, that's simple. One is sincere, the other is insincere. One comes from the heart out, the other from the teeth out. One is unselfish, the other selfish. One is universally admired, the other universally condemned.
So, making someone feel important is not about flattery. It's about developing the skill within yourself to see the real value in people and simply getting good at pointing it out to them. This is the key to influence. Take a moment to think of the most influential people who ever walked this earth, and you can quickly see that they were also the best at helping the most people see that they are valuable. Let's end with a congratulations to William Baird, who goes home with $25, and Tim Allred with another $10 of his own as a thank you for watching and submitting a response to the quiz attached to these videos. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day.